Hey guys, this is SodaKing54 starting a new game in Dragon Age Origins. Just gonna skip that. I gave you guys enough time to read it. If you want to watch it, do it on your own time. Alright, so I've yet to play a dwarf commoner, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. I have a lot of mods installed. If you notice the two other classes I had, that would be the class and specialization mod, which is actually a pretty nice mod. It adds 2 more classes and then a total of 8 specializations for both those 2 new classes, and then 4 for the mage, and a combined of 8 more for the rogue and warrior. They're unlocked through meeting certain requirements for your character, so each one's pretty much character based. Trait wise, at least. Talent and skill. I've also got a few mods for the aesthetic values of the character.
No! It is gone! How do you do? Greetings. Greetings. Charmed, I'm sure.
What's the name of them? Let's go with Dust. Seeing how as he's a rogue, 16 there. Cunning is where I needed to be at. Do that to 14, I guess. Willpower to 13. He's got poison making. Don't really need that, but okay. Lock picking. Need combat training for that. Combat training for everything. Fuck it. go with combat training. Grab that.
Deep beneath the Frostback Mountains sits Orzammar, largest and proudest of the two remaining dwarven cities. Once the seat of an underground empire, Orzammar now stands alone, cut off from the world by the Darkspawn, still clinging to the memory of its former glory. Below the vast statues and gilded halls where the noble families play at politics, the lower castes live in their shadows, scurrying to serve like their ancestors before them. Below that is you. You are casteless, the dirty secret staining Orzammar's perfect society, forced, along with your sister, to sell your services to the crime lord Barat. To the rest of Orzammar, you are proof that the casteless deserve their fate. But you know you do what you have to, the same as everyone, just to survive.
I can't keep gambling on you forever, Precious. You've got a sweet look, something to light a man on fire. But you gotta make it count.
Please, Barat, can we not do this in front of my brother?
Why not? He knows the slope of the land, don't you, boy? You told me a lot of things, not one of which meant more than a fart in the middens. Before me, your sister was just another duster. Now check her out. Braids down to here, gold cap teeth. She can recite elf poetry and play the string harp. Every man's dream. All she's gotta do is find a lord, squeeze out some kid who looks like him, and we're all living the easy life in the Diamond Quarter.
Please, don't get involved. You know that never goes well.
I'll treat her however I like, as long as you both eat off my plate. You keep your head down and say aye to any job I decide is low enough for scum like you. In return, I put out coins so you can doll yourself up and get a belly full of some nobleman's brat. Then you both go free, and I get to join the family and be called my lord for the rest of the little prince's life. That's what everyone likes. A casteless with a big mouth. But I didn't come for the joy of your company. I've been looking at my investments, and this one hasn't borne much gold. I'm giving you another week, Precious. If you haven't found a patron, you're back to sweeping streets.
Dude's an asshole.
But I have. I've met someone. That is, I didn't want to promise, but he seemed interested.
Your buddy Lesky's waiting outside. He knows what I'll need from you today. Don't even think about bungling this job. Your whole family's on loose sand with me right now. And I know you don't have anywhere else to turn.
I'm sorry you had to see that. And I feel like every time you do, it kills something in you. You were such a loving child. I hate what this place made you into. That's why I didn't tell you. Barat's been warning me ever since two of his other girls found patrons at Lord Harrowmont's reception. They've been getting gifts already. Lord Rooston gave Elsie a surface silk gown and she's not even pregnant. Barat's getting impatient. You know the other options. Cleaning middens, begging, going to the surface. No. Unless you find a way to save us all from Darkspawn and become a paragon. We're pretty much on Barat's leash for life. It wouldn't be the first time. Garelon the Blood Risen was born casteless, you know, before he went to the surface. And he came back and won the throne. Many paragons have humble origins. All that matters is that the Assembly recognizes their achievements. And once they get that vote, they found their own house. and are as noble as if the ancestors themselves had made it so. So what are you standing around here for? Go do something great. It's sheer folly. One more way the nobles protect their status. They say casteless soldiers are more danger to each other than to Darkspawn. That it's an insult to the smith to let us touch a fine-made weapon. Truly, they just don't wish to insult the warrior caste by showing that given the same opportunities, we could lead an army just as well.
You know, I just started this origin, and I have to say, this fucking sucks.
I have little love for the nobles, but they know, more than we ever will, what the Darkspawn have taken from our kind. Every noble I've met has had a brother or a nephew killed in the deep roads. Yet they let their arrogance blind them to the fact that we could help defend the city against the Darkspawn. Aye. They would even turn to humans for aid before us, it seems. There's been talk of an alliance against the Darkspawn. Even that the Grey Wardens have stepped up. But we don't have time for this now. Lesky must be waiting, and Barat won't like it if I'm late for my appointment. Money gives him power. He's got family on the surface, which means he can smuggle up lyrium and smithcrafts, and bring down silks, wines, and furs. And he played it smart. When he started expanding, he made sure it was only the casteless he shook down for protection, so the guardsmen didn't care. As far as the nobles are concerned, he still stinks of Dusttown. He's got money now, but you can't buy caste, you know. No noblewoman would risk a dalliance with him. His only chance to join a noble family is to claim kinship with the concubine who bears a noble's son. And that's what he wants more than anything. Don't you? Imagine what it would be like not to have people look at us like we're sewer sludge. To think our lives are worth something. It wouldn't be the first time. Geralt on the Blood Risk. Many, and once they get that vote, they found their own house. And are as noble as if the ancestors themselves... Oh, don't pay attention to her. She's just a bitter old drunk. She also said you'd never learn to walk, or stop dumping in the bed. Make something of yourself just to spite her. Maybe you will. But until then, we can only serve as Barat demands. And he won't like it if either of us is late. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you tonight.
Talking in circles.
Of course.
Open the chest. There we go.
Who's that? Why are you bothering? Don't you talk to me like I'm an idiot. You think I don't know my own kid? What are you doing here anyway? Rika said you were finally making something useful of yourself. What? You thought you'd get a seat on the assembly? Do what you're good for. Get your head in the smoke. Your father was like that too. Aye. Left me with 2 screaming mouths to feed, not a coin on the table. Had to join the clean crew for the smoke vents. Spent 10 years in those chimneys, soot a finger thick all over my body. All for you. So, you gonna show some sort in gratitude, or do I have to beat it out of you? It was for your own good. The world's a cruel place. You had to learn that. You think you'd be where you are now if I'd let you hide from a few slaps? Everything you are, I made you. You think it's that easy? You think you could just walk out of here? You'll always end up back in Dusttown. You can try, but you'll never get it off you. Dusttown, it sticks to the skin. You don't bleed red enough for them, and nothing's gonna change that. All you can do is find some way to forget.
Well, mother's a fucking drunk. You know, you would think actually that,
About sodding time.
things would go
I
better.
was starting to think I'd have to bust in and get an eyeful of that spicy sister of yours. Growl. But no hot-blooded dwarf can help himself. Those perfect lips, just made to be screaming my name. You must have had a few naughty thoughts yourself, huh? What do you say? Oh, at least I'd have something to eat. But as much as I'd love to keep chatting, we'd better get down to business. Boss says we're out for a search and discipline. One of his smugglers is holding out on him. Name's Oskias, some surfacer. Barat got word that he's been selling shipments topside that never make it to Barat's ears down here. He wants us to find the rotter and see what goods he's holding back. All he told me is find him. Duster's got some family from the merchant caste. He's probably staying near their quarters. Poetry to my ears, Selraka.
Hey there, Carter boy. Care to try a taste of this? Any way you like it.
Spare Silver. My boy needs medicine. The docs say he won't wake without it.
So, everybody else is resorting to begging. I'm resorting to gang violence. And,
What are you doing
Have
here,
you heard?
Brand?
King's got a team who found traces of Bronca in the deep roads.
Oh? Found her body, did they? This place is going to the nugs.
Go back to your dirt pile, scum.
I assume this pile of worthless junk belongs to you? Do you realize it's in the way and that the patrols will not be able to come through? Move it, or I shall have it thrown out in the deep roads, and you with it. I'm so sorry, my lord, but they told me to move my goods over here.
Barat won't want to see us without proof that surfacer's dead.
Watch yourself. The Shaper doesn't need your footprints all over his clean clothes. And well, I might. After my mother took 5 years of her personal time sewing fine dresses for the head maid at the Shaperette, Mother tells me they never considered a single other candidate when the position opened for underwasher. I am not casteless. I am an honorable member of the servant caste. I serve my betters as is my place, decided by the ancestors who granted my mother my birth. I am not a criminal. They control Orzamar's memories. They oversee births, marriages, death records, histories, everything we do or are. Except you, I guess. Casteless and criminals aren't allowed in a Shaper's presence. Whatever horrid deviants you're descended from were written out of the histories and deemed unworthy to join the ancestors. Obviously they bred anyway, but their children can't possibly deserve the same protections as those who were legitimately born. Get away from me. I'll tell my father you tried to violate me. I would sooner lie with a nug.
people are assholes.
Prices are no longer.
Do you mind? I have nothing you can afford, and as long as you're here, no one else will come. Same as you. It's illegal for me to walk here without one. I'm from the surface, so by the law of assembly, I'm casteless. But I think of the brand as just a part of the license to vend my wares. I use a washable ink, and when I return home, it's gone first thing. I cannot imagine wanting to wear the beastly thing every day. If you were on the surface, you could open a shop, claim land, and start a farm, and get legally married by the human chantry. Orzammar is the only place in the world that will treat you like this. Yet you all stay. I'll never understand it. There is one thing about the surface, though. There are no castes, and we dwarves all look to help each other. It always seems sad to me that our homeland is the one place in this world where you're likely to be killed by a fellow dwarf. Now, unless you're gonna buy something, I need to unload and get home before the rain sets in. That's water from the sky, by the way. Fine. But try to steal anything and I'm calling the guards.
Damn. Everybody's an asshole.
Hey, boy. You look like someone who could use a spare copper. What do you say? No work, just money for something you're not even using. Much. You look like you've still got all your teeth. Nice and healthy. I craft replacements for nobles who have lost theirs. I can pay you real handsome for some of those. 1 silver for 2. What do you say?
Barat wouldn't like you throwing that around. This guy's an artisan that's
That sounded like a threat. You know the sentence for harassing a resident engaged in legitimate trade is public flogging and 100 silver fine. No work's legitimate if they let you do it, boy. The Assembly declared back in Darbir's reign that it insults the ancestors for casteless to perform any work the recognized lineages can do. Now, do you want it or not? 1.5 silvers, and that's my best offer. Suit yourself. Plenty of brand.
Fucking A. Can't do shit. It's a broken system. The casteless have to stay casteless unless they marry
The
and have a
ancestors
kid.
were smiling on my bed.
They say the warrior caste is hosted.
Hey, I was saving that seat.
That's real thoughtful, Ascaius. It's tiring work looking for you.
How do you know my name? Oh no, you're not from Barat, are you? Because that would be too much. I don't think I could handle. You mean you're not here to kill me? Look, I always been loyal to Barat. He's been good to my family. I know how much I owe him. I haven't. I wouldn't. I'm getting out of here. You two are mad.
You're not going anywhere. Could everyone who isn't about to die please turn around for a moment? This may be unpleasant. Thank you.
You can't do this. Help!
You two let me know if you need anything. I'll be in the back.
It's just a bunch of rocks. You're gonna kill me for that? No!
As you desire.
My fist.
So I guess they have the same basic moves.
You got my back, right?
Wonderful! Of course.
We have to get this stuff back to Barat before he starts wondering what we've been doing.
Alright, so I'm going to end the recording here. I hope you all have a good one. If you don't want to have a good one, well, may you burn in a fire big enough for your entire family.